On November 16th of 2019, at around 6:49 a.m., the San Diego Police Communication Center would receive a 911 call from an unknown resident that was located in the 2100 block of Flint Ridge Drive in the Paradise Hills area of San Diego. Although there was no direct communication with the caller, the dispatcher can hear the sound of a male and a female arguing in the background before the call ended. Officers were sent to this residence, and while they were en route, a neighbor who lives next to the location also called 911 to report hearing an argument and what seemed to be the sound of a nail gun being fired. Upon the officers' arrival, they peered through a small window and noticed a young child lying on the floor in a pool of blood. The officers then forced their way into the home and found 5 more individuals, all appearing to be suffering from wounds. Before we dive deeper into this case, I need you to like, subscribe, and to share this video. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you don't miss a case. Now back to this tragic story. But in order for you to understand this case, I need you to come back with me to November 16th, 2019 to San Diego, California. Falling in love is often a breathtaking journey, especially when it's your first experience of true love. For many, this magical feeling remains elusive, but for Sabrina, it blossomed quickly during her high school years with a boy named Jose Valdivia. Their romance would quickly deepen, leading to the birth of their first son, Zeth, on November 9th of 2008. Shortly after Zeth's arrival, the couple would solidify their bond through marriage. Their family would grow with the birth of their second son, Ezekiel, in October of 2010, followed by their third son, Zeriel, in April of 2014. And finally, the couple will have their youngest son, Enzi, in July of 2016. As the boys thrived, family vacation and cherished memories became a staple of their lives. However, the picture would shatter when Sabrina uncovered Jose's secret life of infidelity. Confronted with betrayal, she felt that her dreams of a perfect marriage crumble. Despite her disappointment, Jose pleaded for forgiveness, promising to change and prioritize their family. With a heavy heart, but very committed to her children, Sabrina chose to forgive him, hoping to rebuild their marriage. Everything appeared to be going back to normal for Sabrina, and at that time until 2018, a decade after their marriage, it was then that she would discover Jose's infidelity once again. This time, Sabrina decided to ask Jose for a divorce as she could no longer endure the betrayal. She believed that ending the marriage would be in her best interest, allowing them to co-parent their children naturally. Once again, Jose pleaded and begged for another chance, promising to change completely. However, Sabrina chose to ignore these pleas. She was utterly exhausted and determined to pursue a divorce from Jose Valdivia in 2018. During the divorce proceedings, Sabrina attempted to establish a co-parenting schedule with Jose for the sake of their children, hoping to maintain a balance in their lives. She was very adamant about shielding the children from the impact of impending divorce and was committing to protecting them at all costs as she finally finalized a visitation plan. Unfortunately, Jose began to exhibit aggressive behavior towards Sabrina. On numerous occasions, he failed to appear to the visitation schedule. He became overly obsessed with her and deeply upset that she did not want to savage their marriage. Jose started calling Sabrina obsessively, reaching out over 20 times a day, and bombarding her with text messages asking for another chance. Sabrina firmly told him to leave her alone. She had no interest in rekindling their relationship and only wanted to co-parent for the sake of their children. Yet, that was insufficient for Jose. He began showing up unannounced at Sabrina's home, even breaking in when she was away. He stalked her every move and even monitored his own children from his car. He inundated her with messages and calls at every hour of the night, demanding that she answers. Sabrina began to fear for her safety and the safety of her children. Jose will be persistent and continue to send Sabrina with messages from day to night. Sabrina will warn Jose that she intends to file a protective order if he continues to reach out to her. In his response to one of her text messages, Jose tells her that a restraining order won't help her. Shortly after, he sends a chilling photo of a gun next to some alcohol bottles, captioning, "It's sure happening." This escalates Sabrina's fear. On November 15th of 2019, Sabrina will file a protective order against Jose Valdivia to safeguard herself and her 4 children. In her application, she had expressed her fear that Jose might take her life or that of her 4 children, especially given his excessive drinking. The judge will grant Sabrina and her children a temporary protective order against Jose Valdivia. The following morning on November 16th of 2019, 911 dispatchers in the San Diego County would receive a distress call from an unknown caller. And during this call, they can hear a man and a woman arguing in the background, but there was no direct communication from either party before the call shortly ended. Moments later, a neighbor from the 2100 block of Flint Ridge Drive calls 911 to report hearing the same argument, followed by the sound of a nail gun. Dispatchers would send San Diego police to the residence on Flint Ridge Drive, and upon arrival, officers would approach a house that appeared to be normal from the outside. But once they peered through a small window, they could see a small child lying in a pool of blood on the floor. The officers would rush to the door and kick it down. But once they got inside of the home, they discovered that 3 deceased individuals were lying on the floor in a pool of blood, 1 small child and 2 adults. Soon after, officers would notice 3 more children barely clinging to life. The 3 children fighting for their lives were identified as 5-year-old Zuriel, 9-year-old Ezekiel, and 11-year-old Zeth Valdivia. All 3 children were swiftly taken to Children's Hospital in San Diego, California, where tragically 5-year-old Zuriel and 11-year-old Zeth would succumb to their injuries and pass away shortly. 9-year-old Ezekiel continued to battle for his life as he was rushed into emergency surgery after being shot twice. Meanwhile, homicide investigators began processing the scene and gathering evidence surrounding the 3 remaining bodies. These bodies were transported to the San Diego Medical Examiners, where they were identified as 3-year-old Enzi Valdivia, 28-year-old Sabrina Rosario, and 31-year-old Jose Valdivia. The autopsies were performed on all 3 individuals, confirming that they all passed away from gunshot wounds. Following an investigation, it was determined that 31-year-old Jose Valdivia had died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound before he turned the gun on Sabrina and his 4 children. The sole survivor, 9-year-old Ezekiel Valdivia, had fought for his life at Rady's Children's Hospital in San Diego. He was placed on life support and underwent surgery, but on November 25th of 2019, 9-year-old Ezekiel Valdivia would succumb to his injuries, raising the death toll from 5 to 6 and pass away. The community of Paradise Hills will mourn the loss of the mother and her 4 beautiful boys, who was remembered as a devoted mother who lived for her children and worked tirelessly to provide a life for them with the best care. The boys' teachers shared how they will miss the boys running up to hug them every morning before school, and how their smiles will lighten up a room. A candlelight visual will take place on November 22nd, 2019, at the Paradise Hills United Church to honor the murdered mother and her 4 beautiful sons. Shortly after, a memorial service was organized for 28-year-old Sabrina Rosario and her 4 boys, Enzi, Zuriel, Ezekiel, and Seth, on Saturday, December 7th of 2019 at the Central Church in Paradise Hills, San Diego, California. The podium was adorned with a pink bouquet for Sabrina and blue bouquets symbolizing each of the boys whose lives were tragically cut short. Hundreds from the community will come together for the service, sharing memories and paying tribute to Sabrina and her children. Sabrina did everything that she could to protect herself and to protect her family. And neither her nor her beautiful boys deserved to have their lives taken away when they had so much more in life to experience. To those out there who are currently going through relationships that became burdensome, it is okay to let go. Healing is possible, and you can emerge stronger. Don't let your emotions cloud your judgment. And if someone is ready to end a relationship, please respect their decision. Love should be a source of joy, not control. If you find yourself struggling mentally with breakups and heartaches, it is wise to avoid new relationships until you can accept that things may not always go your way. Prioritize your well-being, trust in God, and understand that time will bring you healing. Heartbreak is not permanent, but never place yourself in a situation that can cost you or someone you love dearly their life. The consequences of your actions can affect those you leave behind, and tragically, 5 beautiful lives were lost because someone acted impulsively. Sabrina was just 28 years old when her life was taken. Zeth was only 11. Ezekiel was 9. Zuriel was 5. And baby Enzi was merely 3 when they all lost their lives. All that remains are the memories of what the boys could have become. Zeth would have been graduating this year, preparing for prom at the age of 18 in 2026, had he still been with us. Ezekiel will be turning 16 in October and in high school. Zuriel will be 12 years old, navigating middle school, while little Enzi will be 9, soon to be turned 10 in the 4th grade. At the time of their death, the boys were students at Paradise Hills Elementary School, located in the Paradise Hills community of San Diego, California. We are here currently at the Mountain Hope Cemetery in San Diego, visiting the final resting places of Sabrina, Zeth, Ezekiel, Zuriel, and baby Enzi. Their gravestones state that they passed away on November 6th of 2019, but the original date is November 16th, 2019. Please continue to pray for the family of Sabrina and her 4 beautiful boys. Even though that they won't receive the justice that they deserve, we can have solace knowing that Jose Valdivia won't hurt anyone else ever again. And rest in peace to Sabrina Rosario, Zeth, Ezekiel, Zuriel, and baby Enzi. May we advocate for you, through you, and about you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and to share for more of these cases and great content. Until next time, don't forget to love each other, pray for one another, and spread kindness to each other. Thanks for watching.